Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve, Eve. If you all want to take a moment and wave and say good morning to everybody watching online. My name is Rob Bray. I'm a member of the board here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the board and program council. You are welcome here, whoever you are, wherever you are from, and wherever you are on your journey. If you would like more information on TVUUC, please fill out the visitor information card found in the seat back or pew in front of you and drop it off in the collection plate. If you or your family are interested in our religious education program, visit the education table in the lobby after the service with any questions Miriam Davis would be happy to answer for you. We have a New Year's Eve celebration here at the church, so help bring in the new year with fun and fellowship. Join us for a multi-generational and alcohol-free New Year's Eve party from 6 to 10, co-hosted by the high school and young adult groups. Come celebrate the new year with fellowship, games, and karaoke. Bring a snack to share, and please register in Realm so we can get an idea on a head count. Now Claudia has a few words for us.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Claudia Presley, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church, sorry. Need to make sure we include everyone, which is what we do. We include everyone. We are glad you're here today, whether you're in person or you're watching us online. Today, during our offertory time, there will be a designated offering. It's for a group called Women in Black. We have two representatives here to tell you a little more about that. But before they do, let me tell you how you can give. Those of you that have been here before, you know, if you're in the building, checks or cash in the offering basket as it's passed through. You can give through the giving kiosk in the lobby. There's also a scanned QR code that you can use. If you are watching online, there should be a give or a give now button that you can press and give securely using a credit or debit card. You can also go in through your Realm account and set up giving through your bank account. Multiple ways to give. The other thing to remember as we near the end of the year, if for tax purposes, you need to make a contribution this year of 2024. It needs to be postmarked. It does not need to be in our office, but it needs to be postmarked or it needs to be submitted online by December the 31st. So please remember that if that's how you need to give this year. Now, Polly and another representative from Women in Black are going to come and tell you about Women in Black, why they need the contributions that you can give today. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Carol Nickel from Women in Black. And thank you so much for your shared offering today. This is quite an honor and much appreciated. Women in Black was started in 1988 by Jewish Israeli women in Jerusalem. They stood in silent vigil in protest of their government's occupation of the Palestinian territories and their government's treatment of the Palestinians. And Women in Black vigil spread to Europe and across the world. And in April 2nd, 2002, we began Women in Black vigils in Knoxville. We have stood every week for over 22 years now in vigil and in solidarity with our Jewish Israeli sisters. And we stand on, now we are at Crouch Park, across the street from the suffragette statues there at Market Square, every Wednesday from noon to 12:45. And men are also invited. In fact, I'm embarrassed to say that have been a few times that the men have outnumbered the women. And one of the men is an unnamed member of this congregation. So we invite you to come join us.
Hi, I'm Pauline Murphy, and I'm at this church. And you're probably wondering how we're going to use your donations. Well, as you know, Gaza is in dire straits. They're searching for safe shelter, for clean water, for food, for medical care. And we have numerous avenues that we can get this money to Gaza. We're going to collectively decide how we're going to do that. And I'll let you know. Now, outside, if you walk out where Barbara Lamb usually has something on that table, and she doesn't right now, there's a sign for Women in Black, and there is a information sheet. And there's also a Palestinian map card that shows the history of Palestine from 1948 to now. And please feel free to take it and feel free to join us whenever you can. Thanks so much.
As always, join us after the service for coffee and conversations in the fellowship hall or the patio if you brought your jacket. Now, please silence your cell phones or other electronic devices as we enter into worship.
Welcome to our winter holiday pageant service. Our opening words: in this night, the stars left their habitual places and kindled wildfire tidings that spread faster than sound. In this night, the shepherds left their posts to shout the new slogans into each other's clogged ears. In this night, the foxes left their warm burrows and the lion spoke with deliberation. This is the end revolution. In this night, roses fooled the earth and began to bloom in the snow. Today we celebrate many surprising things, many familiar things, and a little bit of chaos, as always happens on Pageant Sunday. So welcome. Let us worship together. Today, we will be enjoying a special treat, our annual winter holiday pageant, and because of this, some of the usual elements of our service have been set aside or streamlined today. Las Posadas, which means the inns, is a traditional Advent and Christmas celebration in Latin America, and particularly in Mexico, and among many Mexican Americans. And it dates back to more than 400 years to Spain, when Catholic priests found that they could best teach many of the biblical stories to non-literate believers by using drama. Las Posadas traditionally is celebrated for 9 nights from December 16th through 24th, culminating in the Christmas Eve worship service. It is designed to reenact the story of Mary and Joseph's journey to Bethlehem and search for lodging. As the biblical story tells us, at the time of Caesar Augustus, a census was ordered. Everyone was required to travel to their hometown to be registered, so Joseph traveled from where he lived in Nazareth to his ancestral home in Bethlehem. And his betrothed, Mary, accompanied him on the journey, even though she was pregnant. But, as many of us are familiar with the story, when they arrived in Bethlehem, they had difficulty finding lodging in the crowded town. The story of Mary and Joseph seeking shelter is a story repeated by refugees, immigrants, and exiles in many times and places, as timely now as 2,000 years ago. It is the story of the sojourner, the pilgrim, searching for a new land and a new life. And today, we are going to tell our own version of the story of Las Posadas. And before we begin the first part of the story, though, we need to get some of the cast together for later on. If you have not been to one of our pageants before, this might be a little bit different than you're expecting. Full disclosure, none of the actors you are going to see today have had a chance to rehearse. But there is more to it. You see, you are the actors. Several times during the story this morning, we are going to stop and ask for volunteers to play parts in the pageant. And we need people of all ages and sizes and shapes, about 16 to 20 people all together throughout our morning. So do not be shy. When we ask for volunteers, simply raise your hand and we will call folks up and we will send you either to the back, to the glassed-in room back there to get your costumes, or we'll ask you to come right up here to get ready and learn your role. And I promise you that the role will not be terribly difficult. Your job, should you volunteer, is just to follow the narration. For instance, if we say, "Then she sat down," what would you do? Sit down. You've got it. It's a piece of cake. So first, we need to get together a few of our cast members, 2 central characters in today's pageant, 2 people who have a long journey ahead of them this morning. So we need people who are ready for some traveling. We need a Mary and a Joseph. Who would like to be a Mary this morning? Would you like to come on up? Actually, you're going to go to the back. And we need a Joseph this morning. A Joseph. All right, would you like to head right to the back? You're going to go to the room right back there. That's not all, though. Traditionally, during the Las Posadas celebration, a child dressed as an angel leads the way for Mary and Joseph. So we certainly need some angels to join our travelers this morning. All right, Mia and Henry, you're going to go right back there. There you go. So who is feeling angelic? I could use 2 young people to be angels this morning. All right, 1, 2. Would you like to head right back also? You're going to go out those doors and right to the left. And they're going to get you costumed and send you in when it's time. Thank you. There will be more chances later on. Now, that's not all, though. Everybody who is here this morning has a part to play. So children or any people who consider yourselves seekers, we have some special words that we need from you. When our travelers get to each of the doors today, there are some words we're going to say, and I'm going to teach them to you now, and they're also printed in your order of service. I'm going to say a line, and then you repeat it, and there are 3 lines. Are we ready? All right, children and any seekers in the room. Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
We come seeking a place to stay.
We come seeking a place to stay.
Will you let us in on this darkening day?
Will you let us in on this darkening day?
All right, let's try it all together once. Are we ready? Knock, knock, knock. We come seeking a place to stay. Will you let us in on this darkening day? We will cue you every time it's time to say that, okay? And the full congregation is next. We're going to get to sing a response at each door. You'll see the words in your order of service, and there's also an insert that has the words and the simple music. Pay attention because the words actually change at each door, even though the tune is the same. And we're going to learn the tune right now by practicing the first door. So the congregational response number 1. That is it. So it'll be that tune and different words at each door, again, printed in the order of service or in the insert that you have. All right. And now, before we do the first part of our story, we have one final cast member for the first part of our pageant. We need somebody to play the first innkeeper. You're going to come up, and somebody is going to be the voice of the innkeeper, and you're going to pretend that their voice is yours, all right? But would somebody like to be the innkeeper at our first door? Yes. Would you like to come up and be our innkeeper? You can come right around. Thank you. If you come right through the curtains there, we have stage managers who will help you get ready. Thank you. We will have more chances. All right. And while all of our players for the first part of our pageant are getting ready, let's sing our opening hymn, printed in your order of service. Come, come, whoever you are. Ven, ven, qual eras ven.
Long, long ago, a woman named Mary was very pregnant. She was going to have her baby soon, but she and her husband Joseph had to leave their home unexpectedly to go to the city of Bethlehem. They had to leave behind everything they had, their family and their friends. They had no money and no idea what would happen when they got to Bethlehem. They walked long and far, and they were oh so tired as they arrived. But where could they stay? They were strangers looking for a home for the night. As they walked, though, something interesting happened. They began to meet others who were on a similar journey, some of whom joined their procession. Other people who were looking for a place to be welcome, people who knew what it felt like to be new or to move or to go to a new school or a community, people who understand that being an outsider can make you feel sad or lonely or even mad. They followed Mary and Joseph to help encourage them on their journey toward Bethlehem.
And so as our travelers continue on their way back and forth right up here, so you're less likely to trip on people right over here. Back and forth, Mary and Joseph and angels. There you go. So who would like to join Mary and Joseph as they seek shelter? Are you somebody who has ever needed welcome? We need 2 travelers to join our procession, and our traveler is going to come right up here to get your costumes and join Mary and Joseph and our angels right now. So I need 2 travelers. All right, my goodness, so many volunteers right up front. 1 and 2, come right up here. And you're going to get your costumes right here, and then you're going to join the procession, okay? So as they are, we're going to come back to Mary and Joseph and our angels. The travelers walked and walked. And watched their new traveler friends get ready to join them. All right, angels and Mary and Joseph, walk and walk. You're on a long journey, and travelers, as you're ready, join them. And they walked and walked, walked and walked, right up here, walk back and forth. You're almost to the first one. There we are. Your traveler for new friends. They walked until they reached the first door. The door over this way, travelers. Over here. The doors that look a little bit like curtains. So, travelers, you're going to head right over here. All right, to the first doorway, and you're going to stop right in front of the door that looks like a curtain. What will they find here? All right, young people and seekers, it's time for your part. Do we remember our words? Here we are at our first door. Let's help Mary and Joseph out. Are we ready? Knock, knock, knock. We come seeking a place to stay. Will you let us in on this darkening day?
The door opened slowly, and the innkeeper stepped through. Mary and Joseph and their fellow travelers felt very hopeful.
What's this? Travelers today of all days? We can't possibly let you in. We are so busy and so full with our friends and family. There's no room for anyone else. Don't you have family of your own that you can stay with?
And with that, the innkeeper turned and went back through the door, shutting it firmly, or letting the curtain fall. Imagine what it is like to have to leave your home and to have no place to sleep at night. Mary and Joseph and their companions trudged sadly back down the street. This way. Sadly back down the street and out to the room in the back in search of another inn that might be a shelter for the cold night. So it looks like back there. Or maybe not. Okay, here they come. Trudge, trudge, trudge. We'll now have our joys and concerns.
Good morning and welcome to everyone here and to everyone watching the live stream wherever you are. Maddie Culpa shares that she and her husband Tim will be traveling to Chattanooga tomorrow to have her father-in-law's ashes placed in the National Cemetery. She says she would appreciate loving thoughts sent their way. Tim's father, Tom, passed away unexpectedly in 2021. This will hopefully be a healing experience, but it may also be difficult, especially considering the time of year. Jack McElroy is asking us to keep his grandniece, Marissa Piccone, in our hearts this holiday season. Marissa, who lives in Arizona, received a heart transplant on her 4th birthday. She is now 8. She was thriving, delightful, and dynamic until this past June when her donor heart unexpectedly began to fail. She has been in the hospital since then, awaiting a second transplant. It is now clear that she will spend Christmas in the hospital. The family is urging friends to send lots of cards, Christmas cards in particular, to Marissa. So please stop by the caring table after today's service to sign a Christmas card for Marissa as we hold this brave young girl and her family in the light. Kathy Greenberg got great news this week. Her pathology report shows she is free of cancer and no further treatment is needed as she continues to heal. Yes, good news indeed. She also shared that she is grateful for all the support she has received on this difficult journey. MJ Aiken is happy to share that her procedure went well on Tuesday with only one small incision rather than the 2 or 3 that was expected. The doctor reports that the procedure was a success. MJ tells us that she's very grateful for the steady support of her wife, Jennifer, and they are looking forward to their cruise to the Panama Canal and Costa Rica in January. So bon voyage, a little early. During the Christmas season, some of us experience sadness related to missing loved ones or friends. Some of us experience loneliness. Seasonal affective disorder can be an issue for some at this time of year. If you know someone who is experiencing depression for any reason, please remember them and perhaps check in with that person if you think that would be appropriate. If you yourself are feeling down, please consider reaching out to someone. None of us needs to suffer alone. For all these concerns, both shared and unspoken, we hold you up to the light and we send you our love.
We return to our story, and I think I see our Mary and Joseph and their companions again, walking through the streets of Bethlehem and up the center aisle, looking for shelter. And as Mary and Joseph continued through the town, they came upon more travelers like themselves. A shepherd was also in town to register for taxes along with their favorite sheep. So we need a shepherd and a sheep. Who has a really good ba? All right, so I need one sheep. All right, one sheep, come on up. And one shepherd. I need a shepherd. Would you like to be the shepherd? Come on up and join us up here. You're going to get your costumes right here and join our travelers. And we need another innkeeper for this part of the story, too. An imposing figure. I saw a hand right there already. You're going to come on up for your costume until it's time for your part. And you're going to be at that door this time. And so it's going to come to you over there. All right. Our shepherd, our innkeeper needs their costumes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, good traveling. So, back to our story. The shepherd and his sheep did not have anywhere to stay for the night either. They looked a little bit lost. Shepherd, are you a little bit lost? With your very tall shepherd's crook. And little lamb, are you looking for your Mary? We have one here for you. Mary and Joseph warmly greeted the shepherd and his sheep and invited them to seek shelter together. And together they all approached a second inn over that way. All right, travelers, you're going to approach the second inn. And young people and seekers, it's time for your help again. Let's say our words together to help our weary travelers. Knock, knock, knock. We come seeking a place to stay. Will you let us in on this darkening day? And as before, an innkeeper came to the door. And perhaps now our Mary and Joseph and their friends have found a place to stay for the night. Congregation, let's find out. We will sing the innkeeper's initial response together. The words are printed in your order of service. Congregational response number 2.
Who are you? We don't have room for strangers here. For all I know, you could be a bad sort of people. And you too. You look like you're not from around here. I don't have a problem with that, but some of the other guests might not like it if I let you in. I can't possibly be expected to trust that you're good people. You'll have to move along. You can't stay here.
And with that, the innkeeper turned and went back through the door, shutting it firmly. Mary and Joseph were thoroughly discouraged, as any of us would be. This search for warmth and welcome may be an ancient story, but we know it far too well even today, don't we? So I invite us all to think for a moment if there have been times in your own life when you have felt unwelcome or unaccepted because of who you are. Our seekers knew they would need to continue their search soon, but first, they decided to take a few moments to rest their feet in the village square where they found themselves right now. Mary especially was in need of some respite. Come and take your rest, weary travelers. Have a seat right here where you are. And while they were resting, the travelers were cheered by street musicians who struck up a lively tune in the square.
Sobre mí a María y al niño, aún no sé cómo es, mas pronto nacerá. Debo darme prisa y encontrar un lugar. José va preocupado, pues hace frío. La noche es muy oscura y van a ser el niño. María le consuela y le dice a José, verás con esta noche estaremos los tres. Qué suerte tengo, piensa la mula, voy a correr. Conozco un sitio donde quizás pueda nacer. Correr pastores y preparando aquel lugar. Pedir ayuda, dentro de nada van a llegar. Tengo que darle mi aliento, piensa la mula, mientras con la mirada no lo deja un momento. Es un niño precioso, nunca vi cosa igual. Qué milagro tan grande en tan pobre portal. Qué suerte tengo, piensa la mula, y voy a correr. Conozco un sitio donde quizás pueda nacer. Correr pastores y preparando aquel lugar. Pedir ayuda, dentro de nada van a llegar.
The travelers' spirits were considerably lifted by that beautiful song they had just heard, and it was time to travel on. As they resumed their journey, though they noticed another traveler, a pilgrim who had been on a very long journey too, who had stopped to listen to the performance. Is there anyone who would like to be that traveler? Come on. All right. So costumes up here. And we need another innkeeper. Who would like to play our third innkeeper? Who wants to be third innkeeper? Okay, here we go. All right, very good. This one. Okay. But what of our travelers? Joseph approached the pilgrim they had noticed in the square and extended an invitation to join them in their search for an inn that would give them entry for the night. The pilgrim gladly accepted, and so our group grows a little larger again. The third inn, which is over this way, was situated just off the central town square. In fact, it looked very similar to the very first inn they'd visited, even though it was a different one. And in no time, that all the weary group was approaching its door, determined not to let their past disappointments dampen their hope. Mary and Joseph knocked on the door. Young people and seekers, let's help them out a third time by saying these words together. Knock, knock, knock. We come seeking a place to stay. Will you let us in on this darkening day? Once again, the innkeeper came to the door. What will happen this time? Congregation, let's find out. We'll sing the innkeeper's initial response together. The words are printed in your order of service.
What a large group of travelers. You look so very hungry. I'm sorry, but we can't possibly afford to help you. We have troubles of our own, you know. There's no room for you here. You'll have to go somewhere else. Times are tight. I'm sure you'll understand how it is.
And with that, the innkeeper turned and went back through the door, shutting it firmly. Oh, what a sorry state of affairs. Our Mary and Joseph and their friends have been turned away yet again. What can we do to help them out? We cannot let them give up hope. As they head down the aisle and back out to the back room, voila, central aisle. Let's encourage them with a song. Please join us in singing hymn 244 in the great hymnal, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
Traditionally, the travelers visit a total of 9 different inns, but I'm not sure we have time for that many this morning. Plus, that's an awful lot of walking for poor Mary, who's just about ready to give birth. So Joseph, come on back in. Thank you, just you. You're gonna come in ahead of everyone else and run along to a few more inns real quick like, so that we know what's happening. Congregation, we're all gonna be the innkeepers this time. So Joseph, you're gonna go back and forth here, all right? And each time Joseph reaches another inn, kind of one end here or the other, I'm gonna call out a number, and then we are all going to yell out, "No room." All right, ready? All right, Joseph, are you ready? Number 4.
No room.
Ooh, carefully run. Number 5.
No room.
Number 6.
No room.
Joseph, I think that's enough running for one night. It's time for you to head back to Mary and your other friends and let them know what has happened at the other ends. And while Joseph is filling them in, we need a few more players. We need some tallish door people. We need 2 people who are going to create our final door. Can we have 2 people who would like to hold up a door? All right, I see 1, 2. All right, thank you. You're going to come up, and you can go right through the curtain there. And we need a final innkeeper. 1 final innkeeper. Which? All right. Thank you. Innkeeper, you're going to come right over here, too, to learn your part. All right. And I think I see our travelers approaching. Maybe they will find another inn. They're going to come up the aisle, all of our travelers. It won't be too long before nighttime. They know that they have to find a place to stay very soon. Joseph is still hopeful that someone behind the next door will let them in. Mary certainly needs the space, the rest, and so they come to yet another door. All right, let's try one more time. Maybe this will be the one. Young people and seekers, let's say the words together one more time. Knock, knock, knock. We come seeking a place to stay. Will you let us in on this darkening day? And once again, an innkeeper came to the door. What will happen this time? Congregation, let's find out. We're going to sing the innkeeper's initial response together. Congregational response number 4.
See that you need somewhere to stay, but we are so full. I cannot bear to turn you away, though. I'm so sorry that we cannot give you more, but there is room in the stable for all of you to stay. It's not much, but it is shelter. What do you say?
Finally, a spark of kindness in the cold night. The travelers were so grateful to have found a place to stay that they could hardly speak. They were finally welcome, and to their surprise, the inn was filled with people who streamed out to greet them. Congregation, let's sing the final response together. Open every door wide, open up and welcome. Holy family, come in this place your new home. In the simple stable, Mary and Joseph and the other travelers settled for the night. Before long, Mary gave birth to a fine young son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger. Any minute now. Yeah, there we go. Far into the night, Mary and Joseph and their new friends watched over the baby, their hearts filled with peace and joy.
Many of us here today know that joy. Are there any families here today with a child who has been welcomed into your lives this year by birth or adoption or welcoming of any way? A new child in your life this year? Anybody here? In your immediate family? In your extended family? Let's widen our circle a little bit. I'd like to invite all of us here this morning to speak aloud the names of any children you know who were born in the last year. In the words of Margaret Gooding, they told me that when Jesus was born, a star appeared in the heavens above the place where the young child lay. Why not a star? Some bright star shines somewhere in the heavens each time a child is born. Who knows what it may foretell? Who knows what uncommon life may yet again unfold if we but give it a chance? And now we welcome our offering this morning.
Christmas is a time of love, a time for children, a time of birth.
Christmas is a time to be thankful
For silent nights and peace on earth, though the days are shorter, with wind and winter snow. At the end of the longest night, the days again will grow.
Christmas is a time of love,
A time for giving, a time of work. Christmas is a time to remember, a time for taking and rebirth. In the darkest hour of faith begins a spark. To light a flame, to start a fire, to shine through the dark. Christmas is a time of love, a time for sharing song and story. Christmas is a time of reflection, of star and sun and heavenly glory. We celebrate the season of winter from the fall. Let compassion guide Earth's children, peace and love for all. Christmas is a time of love, a time for children, a time of birth.
Christmas is a time for beginning,
For joy and friends and merry mirth. Christmas is
a time of
love.
Christmas is a time of love.
Christmas
is a time of
love.
Christmas is a time of love.
Christmas is
a time
a time of love.
Christmas is a time of
love.
Someone once asked me the difference between a homily and a sermon, and I always say a homily is when I don't talk as long as I want to. So in that spirit, my friend Tom Shade grew up in a Unitarian church where they had a Christmas pageant where a curious tradition developed, and I've asked Ryan and Theo McBee to come up here and helped me demonstrate what this tradition was. In their pageant, they had a tradition where there was this sentence about the King Herod and when he died, and the sentence was, "And then Herod died." And the first time the sentence was said, Herod had a very subdued death. But the next year, Herod had a little bit more dramatic death. And then the third year, it was a very, very dramatic death. Until the year came where it was totally over the top. Very good, very good. Bravo, bravo. Maybe that's why when we do our pageant here, we don't include that sentence and when Herod died. But in Tom Shade's childhood church, that sentence became the centerpiece of the whole story. And everybody waited to see what would happen and how Herod would die. And would Herod outdo last year's Herod? It was such a big deal that the story of Mary and Joseph, they sort of got upstaged, and the angels and the shepherds and all the barnyard animals got upstaged, even the camels. And this is what we do so often in life. We let drama distract us from what is most important. And sometimes the drama is very entertaining, as it was with Herod's death. And sometimes the world's leaders deploy drama in less benevolent ways. We see in Washington, D.C., and in Nashville and other parts of the globe, drama that distracts us from the most profound meanings of life. It's the kind of bad drama, different from Herod's death, bad drama that Shakespeare was talking about when he said, "Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." And the politics of our time are full of sound and fury. But there is another meaning to this season. I went to Logan Temple AME Zion Church for a Moral Monday event with the NAACP, and they had a bulletin board in their Sunday school section that drew my attention. It said this: "Loving God means loving the oppressed, the imprisoned, the orphan, the hungry, the helpless, the hopeless, the widow, the sick, the stranger, and the thirsty." And these are words even an atheist can contemplate, because there is something in every person that is worthy of our reverence. It doesn't matter what our theology is. It doesn't matter what we believe. It doesn't matter what religion we belong to. There is something worthy of reverence in every person, and that is the meaning of the story. The meaning of Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, the meaning of the shepherds and the wise men, the meaning of all the barnyard animals. This time of year, we often forget that Jesus was Jewish and that Bethlehem is in Palestine. But that gives a deeper meaning to the angel's hope that we will have peace on earth and goodwill toward all people. The world is full of drama, and we are often distracted by it. But today we remember a baby who grew up to be a rabbi and said, "I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly." Merry Christmas.
And we return to our story, where Mary and Joseph are comfortable in their stable with their new friends who have been waiting a very long time. They were surrounded too by many curious animals of the stable who gathered round to meet the new arrival. If there is anybody here this morning who would like to be part of the story but has not yet been chosen for a part, we need we need one person for the final part of our story in just a little bit, somebody to carry the star. to guide some visitors who will be coming. Who would like to be our star bearer today? Who would like to carry our star? Would you like to be the star bearer? You're going to head right to the back there, okay? Yeah, you can go together. Now we need our friendly beasts. We need an assortment of animals who gathered around the new family and their friends. And so if you would like to be part of our tableau, come on up now, and we're going to bring some costumes out. Anybody who would like to be a beast? Beast, come on up. All right, come right up here. We're going to bring them right around the front, right here. Anybody else? Yeah, come and join us. We have some doves and some donkeys and some cows and one more sheep friend for our sheep we already have. And you're going to join our many friends gathered round the baby. And as they are getting ready, we're going to start getting ready for our other friends who are going to join us in just a little bit. And friendly beasts, once you get your costumes, if you could come and sit over here, because we need some space up in the middle and in the front here for people to come in a moment. Thank you. There we go. Come in and join our tableau. I see some doves and some cows. Come and sit, find a spot right over here. Now later, we're about to welcome our other travelers. Later, wise people came to visit. Drawn by a bright star in the sky, they will join us in a couple minutes. They brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the new family. And so I invite you to remain seated and join us in singing together hymn number 259 in your gray hymnal, We Three Kings of Orient Are.
Star of wonder, star
assist again in the story of Mary and Joseph, the journey of the refugee, the immigrant, and the forced traveler. This is our story too, for all of us have been travelers in our lives. All of us have sought shelter and refuge in times of need. This morning we saw again how often the doors are closed in the faces of those in need. And we also experienced once more the kindness and open-heartedness of strangers and new friends. In the spirit of this holiday season, we renew our commitment to opening wide the doors of our hearts as we welcome one another and all those in need of sanctuary into La Posada, the inn, a house of hospitality and refuge. Oh, and our wise baby is done. Let's have a hand. That is a good cue. Let's have a hand for all of our players this morning. And now let us sing our musical benediction.
As our last act of worship, I invite you to turn and greet your neighbor.